One of the first things we did when we got to Argentina was we found a Spanish tutor. So my husband is fluent in Spanish, which is how we're here. But he's been speaking Spanish to our daughter since she was born. She did have some gaps in there, but took Spanish at school. She watches Spanish TV shows. I took 5 years of Spanish in high school. Definitely not the same. And then my husband and I watch a lot of Spanish language shows, mostly things that are Mexican made. That's very different than Argentine Spanish. And I'm not comfortable speaking Spanish. That's something that I struggle with. So when we got here, we got a Spanish tutor, someone who's local that can help us. And that's really good because there are things like vos that they use. They also, instead of double L's being Y's, double L's and Y's are je. So that's different, especially when you hear it. And speaking it's been a little difficult for me. So I am so incredibly grateful for our Spanish tutor. She's amazing. We love her. But one of the things that we've been working on with her is like daily routines, because that's just something that is just good to know how to talk about. And it also just helps, especially me, with actually talking and speaking Spanish. We're starting to talk about routines, like helping my daughter do routines, because one of the things that we're noticing is she understands way more than she lets on. She says that she does not understand or speak Spanish, except then we did a worksheet on directions and she got every single thing right and no one had to translate anything for her. So clearly she understands Spanish. She understands directions. That was a fun discovery. Anyway, so we're talking about routines. And I'm going, okay, well, the best way to help her is to have like a visual for her, because I know she loves visuals. So I start taking these images that our Spanish teacher gave me, like in a worksheet, to help create a visual schedule board for her. If you followed me long enough, you know where I'm going with this. I have a visual schedule board. Not only do I have a visual schedule board, an activity board, I have it in Spanish. That was just special. Now, is the Spanish a little different? Yes, my husband translated it, so his Spanish is more Mexican Spanish, so he uses Mexican words, Mexican phrasing, and then my friend that helped us check it, make sure it was all good, is from Venezuela, and so there's the Venezuelan influence there too, not Argentine at all. So what I did is I took this Spanish visual schedule board and I tweaked it a little bit so that we're using some Argentine phrases and words, and then I printed it out and I'm using it. I honestly felt so dumb when I realized how very ADHD of me. Daughter and I put it on the wall, and then our Spanish tutor came over and corrected a few things for me. And so some of the tweaks I did was I tried to conjugate some of the verbs, because that's some of what we're doing. Didn't do it necessarily correctly in all cases, and also my spelling is atrocious, because my spelling is atrocious even in English. It's ADHD for you. I'm going to show you how we did that and how you can do it too with the Spanish visual schedule board. So this is the visual schedule board. Like I said, it's on my site. It is the child version in Spanish. What I did is I went through and I got rid of all of the pages that we weren't going to be using and I didn't need to print, like the part at the beginning, the cover page, my intro, thank you for using it, explanation on how to use it, and the back page of it, don't need to print those out. And then I got rid of all the activities that we wouldn't be doing. So going to grandparents' houses, because none of them live here, riding a bike or a scooter, going to therapy, doctor, dentist, things like that. We're not doing any of those things here really. And I also got rid of therapy activities as well as any blank pages that we weren't going to be using. This made printing a lot easier. I also had to Google a few things to make sure I was using the right phrases. Turns out I was, which is nice. There are a few things that are just different here in Argentina, and I used specific names for things so that it was applicable for where we are. And then I printed out the pages. There were only 5 of them, which kind of was intentional. I was trying to keep the number of pages minimal just for purposes of being here, and I'm not laminating these, so they're not going to last as long, sadly. And then I did my thing and I cut everything out. Super easy to do, not a big deal. I even used these terrible scissors that I got at one of the stores here that only work on paper. Can't open any packages with them or cut plastic. Not my favorite thing. So these are just some of the ones that we did decide to use. We have a pool here, so swimming was one of them. Dancing, going to playgrounds, having a tutor, getting dressed. Obviously daily routine, like morning routine kind of things are in here. I also did reading, all of the meals, obviously going to bed, like nighttime routine. My daughter likes to get ice cream every day if at all possible, so added those. Also places that we like to go here that I know that she would like to have on her Spanish visual schedule board, and then also included like church, going to restaurants, going to the store, but also running errands, and then other activities we do together. I then used masking tape and I put loops on the back of each square so that we could stick them to the wall. Masking tape makes it a little bit easier and you can move them around a little bit easier. Again, because they're not laminated, these pieces are not going to last as long, but we're going to do our best. Once everything was prepped, my daughter and I put everything on the wall in order of the schedule that we were going to do that day. You have breakfast. Here, let's put it like there. All right, and then what next? Do you get dressed? So, put it next to it. Nope. Is that the right setup?
It's a bag.
And after you get dressed, we study. We do school. So, a studio.
A studio?
And then we have a lunch.
There's something happening on my sticker.
And then, what's that say?
What is it?
What does it say?
I don't know what it says.
Read it.
Yeah.
So, what do you think that means?
What?
That means tutoring.
What's tutoring?
That's when someone comes and helps you with a subject. Do we have someone that comes and helps us with a subject today?
Yeah.
Who?
Cooley.
And what does she help us with?
Spanish.
Good job. Okay, then after that, what do we do? Are we gonna go run errands? We're gonna go run errands.
Screwdriver.
So put that, yeah, put that there. And then after we run errands, should we go to Patio de Juegos? That's a playground.
Pato de Juegos.
And then maybe, actually, let's see. Before patio, no, we're gonna have a snack before. And
Mariana.
then put that there.
Hey.
So after we do that, are we gonna go, we're gonna have dinner? Santa?
Yeah.
Okay, go put that over there.
What about the Lagos?
We'll do that. I have it right here. Here, what's that? Over there. Go put it next to Patio de Juegos. Alright, and then after we do dinner, what do we do? No. Do we do that before or after your bath? I think we do your bath first. Or we could do ice cream before bath. That's fine. Then after your bath, what do you do?
Pajamas.
And then we watch then. But I think we forgot one.
What is it? Screen time.
Yeah, but where do we put it? We need to put it probably around lunch. So let's scoot everything. Once my daughter and I finished coming up with the routine, and I really wanted her to participate in this and put everything on the wall. Once we were done with that, we put all of the other squares that we weren't using in the moment next to it in a different kind of chart-like setup so that she can move stuff around and decide what she wants to use every day based on what we're doing. So this is how all of that turned out. Again, I don't love that it's not laminated, but there's only so much I can do about that. I haven't found a laminating machine or even self-laminating pages here like we had at home. You can see on the actual schedule some of the notes that our Spanish tutor added to some of these. Again, I'm not being sarcastic at all. I absolutely love that she changed these because I want these to be as accurate as possible, and so I thought that was super helpful. So I hope that was helpful. Like I said, this is on my site. It's $5. It's a download. You can alter it, you can print it out, you can use what you need, what you don't need. Like you can see in the video, I don't use a lot of the original visual schedule board because we don't have any pets. We're not going to therapy here. There's a lot of stuff that just didn't apply in this case. So I didn't print everything out. That's the great thing about these downloads. You don't have to print everything out and keep everything. I will say I really miss my laminating machine and having stuff laminated because we are not kind to just regular paper. Again, like I said, hopefully that's helpful, and you can find the download for this on my site under shop.